Tonight I'm going to be shooting the M16 Eagle Nebula, which contains the famous pillars of creation. I'm going to show you how to do the data capture and the post-processing in PixInsight. My name's John Robinson, the AstroTARD, and you tuned into the DeepSkyChannel. So you can see I've got my rig in the background there, and I do my processing inside because I want to avoid all those pesky mosquitoes. So I have a long USB 3.0 cable that allows me to do that. Let's just go outside and have a quick look at the rig. Okay, starting with the laptop. This is a pretty beefy Intel Core i5. Here's my USB cable, USB 3.0. Going to just outside. The cable goes up to a USB 3.0 hub. On the hub I've got the connection to the actual telescope. I have a connection to the camera, and I have a connection to the autofocuser. For power, I'm using this Pyramid model PS9KX, which gives me the constant 5 amps that I'm looking for. A very clean power, and doesn't spike or surge. This is most of you who are using plug-in power are probably using that unit. The other unit over here for power I'm using to power up the mini controller for the focuser. So that's the power and that's the USB. Obviously I have a power bar mounted to the side there with Velcro, and yeah, so I've got various powers there. I've got it all sort of roughly connected with Velcro here. So I've got the power coming up to the controller for the autofocuser. This is a power unit for the do not. It keeps the dew off of the telescope. Yeah, and that's all sort of bound up like this through twist ties and Velcro to come up to the back. So here I've got the 1600 mono connected to the filter wheel, and then there's the Moonlight autofocuser. Inside of there is the field flattener up to the telescope unit itself. Got a star finder. I think it's like a 2x or 3x zoom there. And then for guiding, I'm using the ZWO 280mm and 290mm black and white guide cam. And I have another star finder over here from Celestron. So one of the challenges that I have to deal with in shooting the M16 Eagle Nebula is that it's pretty low in southern sky this time of year. It's just above those trees in the background, but there happens to be an elementary school across the street over there, and they leave their cotton picking lights on all night long. Sometimes they turn them off, sometimes they leave them on. So I have to deal with the fact that it's low in the horizon and those elementary school lights. But using the narrowband, it does a pretty good job of helping eliminate a lot of the noise, and I have a lot of really good data anyway. So I just need a few more frames to finish off my loom for the narrowband SHO Hubble palette capture of M16. Okay, so you can see I've launched here Sequence Generator Pro. I'm currently selected my M16 target here. You can see that I've finished with my loom. I captured 50 frames at 60-second exposure, and now I'm just finishing up the narrowband hydrogen, oxygen, and sulfur. These are 5-minute exposures. I want to get 75 of those. I'm pretty darn close. I'm almost done with this target. So I should be able to finish it up tonight, which is good enough because it's pretty low in the southern sky. So some things to note, some settings that I'm using here for like the camera and stuff like that. So for narrowband targets, I like to use a gain of 139, and that'll match with the calibration frames that I've already captured. I haven't touched my imaging session at all, so the calibration frames I have should still be good. So the gain will be 139. I set my temperature down to -14. That's about the best I can achieve in these summer evening skies. It gets about 100 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, and at night maybe around 80, 85 degrees. So it's pretty warm outside. So -14, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. But anyway, that is the coldest that I can get this camera to in this warm temperature outside. My pixels per resolution, I'm at 0.93, and there's a formula here listed for how to calculate that. This is pretty important when you do the framing calibration so that you can find this image in the sky. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this capture started. I've already connected all the equipment, and I know that my mount is already polar aligned and star aligned. We're just ready to go ahead and find the object out there. So I'm going to click on center now. It'll rotate the mount in that general direction, and we should get a a match here quick. Let's see what the mount's doing out there. Yeah, I can see it's rotating. We're within 38 pixels. As soon as we get down to less than 35, it'll be good. Okay, that's at 19, so that's pretty good right there. So we'll go ahead and start up the PhD 2. We'll connect the software here, connect to the mini camera, connect to the ASCOM, and start that guy up. Choose that star right there, align on that guy, and we should be good to go. And these are the settings that I use for autofocus. So I focus every degree change in temperature every 45 minutes. I usually also focus every time I have a filter change. At the beginning of every sequence, except on a resume. I do a 7-second capture in 2x2 binning. I measure 9 data points, and I step between 40 points of focus along the way. Right now, my autofocus is with HA filter, which is what I want. Okay, so now that I've set that to 4055 and I run it now, it should achieve focus much faster this time. Give a V so that on the 5th point should be the bottom of the V. That's what I'm really looking for when I'm close to focus. And 4055 was the autofocus average. It's pretty good. When I press run here, it's going to finish out the HA first because I've got to finish entire set first. So I'll press run. I'm already centered on it. Okay, so it's going to start here. Let's check the guider status, and now it's taking a picture. Okay, so the guider is looking pretty good. We're looking at 0.36 or 0.76, pretty good guiding. That's pretty good. Okay, so we'll let that capture, and after that finishes, I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Rotate it to the left slightly so I can get a good look at it. We'll zoom in there. Not too bad. A little bit of noise. Looks like the focus is slightly, could be slightly better. But overall, that's pretty good. It looks like the image capture finished. We've got all of the subframes for our mix for the Eagle Nebula. Okay guys, I'm going to break this up into 2 videos. This is getting quite long, but I hope this gives you an idea of how to do the data capture, the camera settings, the autofocus, the plate solving, In the next video, I'll show you the process that I use to produce an image like this one. And we'll do this together. I'll show you all my secrets. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button if this was useful. Clear skies. Thanks for watching. Bye.